I've decided that I figured out what transition I'm going to do. Instead of making videos, so it takes energy for you to make a video. And if I'm not really feeling it and whatever, then I don't really want to make videos. Sometimes I really want to make videos, but it just, since I'm not getting paid by this anyway, I figure I'm going to make journals instead of uh, making videos. I'm going to and spending a lot of time on Twitter. I'm gonna spend that time making journals, and then when there gets to be so much content, I'll probably publish it into a book, and there'll just be different volumes of my journals. It's gonna be day to day type of stuff. My thoughts, my opinions, my ideas, um, things that I forget about, but I'm gonna start posting in a journal. I'm thinking about maybe like I have to look into Substack or whatever. It'd be cool to like a blog. It would be cool to post it daily, so um, it's out there and it's published. But I still want to put it into book form as well, because when I put it into the book form, um, I, I can have AI make it into an audio book. So I want to have my content put out there in multiple ways instead of just like these videos. I mean, these videos are cool, and I'm not saying I'm not gonna make them ever again. I'm just saying like there's a time coming up. I'm not popping off, so I have to like re-strategize. The election's almost here. I can't wait. The last day of summer was today, and now it's rainy. It's awesome. I see cold weather coming. No more hot nights. No more having. I'm gonna be bundled up every night. Is That's the best way for me to sleep. I like to have a blanket on me. I know it sounds weird, but I like to have a blanket. And the apartment that I live at, they have AC in the living room, and that's it. And I'm on the third floor, so like heat rises. It's been pretty brutal this summer, and I haven't had any desire to do anything or go anywhere, and even like hang out with anybody. Um, but yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. Is I'm gonna go ahead and start I'm looking starting a blog or something like that. So like I'm still gonna use X and stuff, but I mean, that it's whatever. It's like it's another thing I'm censored by. So I kind of don't like X, and I pay for it too. Like I pay for my stuff. We're supposed to. Elon tweeted out like we were supposed to have, if you have 5,000 verified followers, then you will get your subscription paid for, and mine wasn't. I'm pretty sure I have at least 5,000 verified followers. Maybe they're all bots. I don't know. I didn't pay for no. I haven't paid for any followers. Not a single one. Um, so, but I think that's what I'm gonna do, and what that'll do too is like it'll archive my ideas too, and it'll help with the AI version of me as well. Because not only am I going to tell things about my day, how what I'm going through, but I'm also gonna have like stories of my past, like um, just a little bit about my experience on this planet. I'm gonna put some stories like that. So I'm gonna not only am I going to drop um, what I think about whatever's going on at the time. Like I make a video, well, I can just go ahead and um, type it out instead. And the thing I want to show people, especially like what's so cool about my first book, is it's not written that well, and it shows you like my writing has gotten a lot better. My vocabulary has gotten a lot better. But compared to like when I start texting or whatever, when I start like, it's just because I'm going to have to find another job. So I'm going to be working lots of hours, and I really won't have, I don't have anything to talk about anymore. I mean, like, I can talk, we already know, it's just kind of like, I want to see what happens. Like, um, are we going to go authoritarian, or are we going to go rebel mode and completely like change the country for the better? And like, I feel like if Trump gets in there, there's going to be a lot of people held accountable. Um, Today they're talking about on X. I don't know. This guy got community noted, but another one of my favorite sources on there like is talking about how Megan Fox and other celebrities have wiped their social medias clean, and that's kind of interesting. That's a kind of interesting development. I guess being linked with P Diddy. Uh, I I've heard of different things with these Hollywood celebrities. I don't want to go into depth because I don't have any proof, but I've heard different, speculations of these people, what they do, possibly to underage individuals, other things with like prominent figures, like things that are illegal, things that are straight up illegal, and if it gets put out there, and that's I think that there's, I'm just like, I want to know if like these conspiracy theories are true. Like, did we go to the moon? Um, is the Earth flat? Obviously, the Earth isn't. It's not flat, but there's other ones like there's like JFK. Did our government have a hand in that? Like the Epstein client list, like why has that not been released, and who's on there? And what does that mean? Is Trump on there? Like seriously, I want to know who's all on there. Um, but it's interesting times for sure. I mean, I don't really pay attention to any type of like entertainment. Like what I do for entertainment right now is I play um, NCAA. I made me and my kids on there, and we're just tearing it up, and I'm having fun, scoring lots of touchdowns with them in this fake reality, which would be really cool if it was like real. And that's what I'm saying is like I can definitely come up with cool creations, cool ideas, when it comes to the digital world and making different worlds. And the thing is, we have to figure out the copyright stuff. We have to figure out, and I think that we should be able to use blockchain technology and Web3 technology, to get people the proper funding that of something they've created. So if I use somebody's, like I was thinking like, okay, licensing. So like licensing a song, like if you're, I was thinking like there's got to be more with these subscriptions to subscribe to somebody. I mean, it's cool that it puts you on the front for like comments or whatever, but I mean, it's kind of like a super chat or something, I guess. I like that aspect, but then like, like when we're using real money to play games, like video games, like I think that's creating an economy. I think like that would be cool if these video game designers, they have so much money anyway, so like why don't we make a digital economy that where you have scarcity, where you have to work for something, like what am I doing, what's the outcome, just buy another game next year and then like lose everything that I did this year and just keep doing it every year, just like it's not even that fun. It's like it's kind of just, that's why I'm going to transition into something else. Like I said, I'm gonna have to really focus on getting a second job and creating competition with the current job I have. So like I definitely can be a supervisor. I definitely am intelligent enough to be a supervisor. My intelligence is very balanced across the board. Some things I'm not good at all. Like I don't like to read, and comprehension of, I just get bored just sitting here reading a book. So like I can take in information better when I'm listening to an audio book. And this is where the school system really failed me, and I don't learn the traditional way. And I think a lot of people, a lot of the youth can relate to me. They don't learn when somebody they don't really like their personality is lecturing you. I like to be doing something, listening to a lecture. Like if I'm doing a manual labor job, I like to, you know, pass the time listening to something besides just nothing, you know. I've learned a lot this year at this job. I've listened to a lot of audiobooks, and I've retained a lot of information. So like what is cool is like if with my writing is you'll be able to see, like I'm not perfect or nothing like that, but like anybody can do it. And the progression, especially like the first book is so great. And people like rag on that book, like they put me down hard. Like that's cool. I haven't even read the reviews or anything like that, but like people who go on the X, they just like they say, "Oh, your book is terrible," blah blah blah. Like your writing, like yes. I mean, I wrote that book when I was uh, like being a dad and working a full-time job, keeping a household down. Like I wrote that book. So like most people who are writers don't have that type of work ethic like that I have. I have like really big, like I wrote all my albums, I wrote a book, I made all these videos of like sketches in like a 3-year period, and I worked a full-time job. I can't imagine like what I would have created or learned if I had like a whole year and a half off, like a lot of these people who lost their jobs for the lockdowns and stuff like that. They got paid to stay home. I say a year and a half because people didn't have to pay their rent. They could have just stayed where they were at, not, rent free. But I paid all my bills. I did everything I had to do to get by. While I wrote books, while I wrote albums, fully edited the music. I mean, it's not all my music, obviously. I covered some songs, and some of them are just like I gave people credit because they made that, and that's what That's what would be so cool. Like if my music popped off, I can like get one of these low creators who created like whatever some song might, but I just have AI now, so I really don't even need anybody. But like it would be cool to like give lower people, pull them up so they get an opportunity, whether I'm like their competition or not. It doesn't matter. It's about bringing people up and uplifting people instead of like just sitting on top of the mountain, in your ivory tower looking down on everybody thinking that you're better than everybody. Like that type of mentality is so old. And it's cool to have nice things, but you want to help out other people too. Like why would you want to tear people down? I don't get it. I think that like we should be progressing as with civilization to be helping out everybody that wants to be helped out. Try to keep like we need free speech. We need um people to be able to say what they have to say. It not only it exposes them for who they are too. Like you find out who they are. So I think that like it's definitely, yeah, I was wearing this to work by the way. It's like I want marijuana to be normalized, because like it's gonna be in every like I want marijuana to be um, not looked down on. It's cool to like, if you get some time and to hit a gummy or something like that. Like, I think that we should be able to like synthesize it, so it makes it better. Like, get rid of the stuff that um, is bad. Like, make it so I can sleep better. Make it so, because it does help with different things. It does help with pain relief and relaxes you. But smoking it is obviously bad. So smoking obviously bad. But the thing about smoking it, compared to like taking a gummy or something like that, is it takes a lot longer to get in your system if you eat it as opposed to like smoking it. But smoking is definitely not good for your brain and definitely, obviously, not good for your lungs. Um, it would be cool, like if we could take it like when you take a shot, like take a shot of whiskey. If you take a couple shots, it gets into your blood system quick or whatever, quicker than if you had like a beer or whatever. If you could feel the effects quicker, the effects need to be felt quicker on the body buzz. Like it needs to be like a quick boom. After like 5 minutes, I feel something. Like this whole like waiting 45 minutes or whatever to feel something, and it's a different type of buzz too than it is when you smoke it. So, I definitely think that it should be normalized. I think that it should be legal, like alcohol and cigarettes and tobacco, like chewing tobacco and all those things. If those things can all be legal, then why can't marijuana? Marijuana is probably, in my opinion, not as harsh as the other ones with all the additives they put in, like cigarettes and drinking. Like, you could stop smoking weed or whatever, and the effects will wear off after a couple hours, like 3 hours, and then you'll be good to go to drive or whatever. Like when you drink, it's like, no, you're pretty much done for the night, So, because like after 3 hours, you're sober. That's what's cool about it. So you don't have to sit there and be like, okay, I'm taking the rest of the night off, or like I'm gonna have to try to be an alcoholic that functions in society. There's obviously bad things. Well, let's figure out how to take the bad things out and then put okay, like I would like to have something that like suppresses my appetite and makes it helps it with the fasting. Like it helps with fasting. Fasting is that's what somebody needs to come up with, something where the THC will give you the buzz like quick, but it won't give you the munchies. Where because like people, and if it can give you like an upper too, um like a caffeine, something like that, just like a quick up. So like when you work out and stuff like that, people that like to work out, it can give you an upper and then it give you a downer when you want to sleep. Um, I just think that like those things need to get a lot better. That's what I think. I think that those things have room to improve, and where we're at right now with marijuana compared to where we were when I was a kid and I smoked it illegally. Yeah. hmm I smoked a lot of weed. I did a lot of. I dabbled in the black market drug industry. Definitely did. Didn't go too far because I didn't want to. I'm a conservative. I think long term, and thinking, you know, that's kind of dumb. Even like at the time, my hero, Kurt Cobain at the time. I mean, like I was definitely not feeling good, and like to go down the wrong road, like doing heroin or something to try to be just like I was trying to be just like that guy. Like seriously, if that dude would have met me back then, he would have been like, "Dude, you're such a poser, man. Like you disgust me." At least nowadays, he would kind of respect me more because I'm more myself than I was back then, trying to be just like him. The big thing was I just related to him a lot. I related to that dude a lot in his life. So like I kind of it didn't really have a father figure at the time, and yeah, it wasn't a good one. But I liked his music, and he seemed like a genuine type of good person, and yeah. But yeah. Anyway, that's what I'm gonna do. Is I'm going to put my nose to the grindstone. Obviously, like this, getting paid for my content to live is not going to happen. So I definitely can contribute my part to mankind in my own way. Maybe people pay attention, maybe they don't. Maybe in the future I'm looked at like Schopenhauer or some huge philosopher, um, that struggled at their time. Like a Nikola Tesla. Like maybe I'm looked at like that. Like people pick up my stuff. It stays. It withstands the time of like censorship, and all my stuff that I created actually last forever. And people were like, "Wow, that's crazy." Like maybe they're somewhat entertained. Maybe they want to know, condense what I'm talking about more into like an AI system, and they can just create like, who's to say this is an AI? Who's to say that this, like, all the information we have now of history, we can make it into a video game and go back into time. And I think that that's what they'll make. They should make a video game that you can go back into time and then like live anytime you want. A time machine AI generated video game. And we will. I'm not sure in my lifetime, but like we will. We're going to have that. Like, is time machines and time travel real? Is it possible? I don't know. Maybe. There's a lot that I don't know about this universe. I keep an open mind because the more that I learn, the more that I realize I don't know and I never knew, and that's why my opinions and my thoughts change. Like I was really big into the red pill guys, man. I was huge. And I like some of the stuff that they say. I'm not gonna say that they're wrong. These people were actually pretty damn intelligent people. They're really smart. But then I disagree with like their double standards, and it's kind of like, what are you complaining about? Like what you live in is completely different than like what's actually out there right now. Like I can it is not a good place for people. It's crazy how the dating market is like completely changed. And you know what's like weird is I honestly like I have my little dating profile for like um just like social, just to see like how the dating atmosphere is, like kind of getting a feel for it. um like right now my profile, like I don't swipe on anybody that hasn't swiped on me, so you have to swipe on me for me to swipe on you. I haven't swiped right on a single person that hasn't swiped on me yet. And I don't message first. I haven't messaged anybody first. So I kind of get a gauge of like how aggressive women are compared to a few years ago where I had to just like mass message all these different women at the same time, and then all these other guys do it as well, and you kind of got to look at your have to feel like your looks, because and that's the whole thing with these dating sites is like you don't get a feel for the person, you just see like a still image, you don't get a video, you don't get they're not about connecting people, they just want to make money off of you, so they don't even want you to be they don't want you to be a connection, they want you to be single. Like that's the whole point of the dating sites, because if you are, then what's the point of using anymore? That's why I like Facebook dating or something like that. Like it's because not only does it have a massive search result, like the MySpace was so cool. I could literally like search a female in my area, like what ethnicity she is, if she's single, like there's all these different things, and then like a 15-mile radius. And Tinder's okay with that, but Tinder is like utterly useless for me. So it's like I don't even really use it. It's a ghost town. So so if I was to use it, it would be the same, like a ghost town. But the thing about the thing about Facebook is it has such a huge database of people, of real people. um I want it to get so good where like AI match me up with somebody, that match us up, just like be that third person arbiter, and like hey, like send a message, hey, this person might match up well with you, okay, then you can open up their profile and see what they're about. Okay, cool. Another thing too is like my resume. I'm thinking about maybe using LinkedIn more. I don't know if I can upload my resume on there, but like how comes I don't have somewhere on X I can upload my resume? That would be so cool to like have on my profile, like my resume. Um, for maybe somebody's like, wow. Um, it's kind of like Indeed, you know what I mean? Like it's a way to connect with people. That's what X should do too. is they should put something like a job creation thing, and you can upload your resume, and then it gives these other um, people who are looking for work, like looking for people to work for them, a chance to reach out and see people before they actually, they get to see their online content. They get to see what type of person. Maybe they're not going to be a good fit. Like maybe politically they're not going to be a good fit for their crew, or just whatever. Like I think that it should get easier to relocate places. I think that it's really hard to move around right now, and we definitely need these cities to be more. First off, we need the people who live in the cities to not destroy everything and not take. We need people to be respectful of property. So, like, it would be cool to have these, like, in these cities where you can come down, it's all, like, really modern, and it's safe, and, like, you don't have to steal. Like, we need to get to the point where we don't have to worry about property anymore. Like resources, and like it's just abundant for everybody. I'm in a transition of, like, I might be one of those that actually gets life extension technology, um, AI in my brain to enhance my brain. Because, like, you think I'm gonna sit here, if I make it and I'm an old man, hypothetically, let's say I make it to, like, let's say I start taking care of myself. I start really, that's what I want to start doing, is I want to start focusing more on my health, and for right now I have to get my finances under control. I got to get my debt down. Nothing's gonna save me. Nobody's gonna save me. None of my assets are gonna blow up right now. So I'm gonna have to put my nose to the grindstone and get a second job, and you know that's what I'm gonna have to do. And then once I get that good, and I feel established, I want to work on my health. Like, I definitely, this is like only gonna last like 6 months. There's no way I can work two jobs for like 2 years like that. It's only to I want to hang on to this current job because, like, it's good during a recession. So I don't want to lose this job I currently have. But I would like to pick up something else, and to possibly, like, move up in the company, because, like, I don't want to move up in the company I'm at. I don't want to be in charge of a lot of people. I'd rather just be in charge of a couple people, like of a shift. Not a whole, like, 20 people or anything like that. Just a easy, like, 5 people. It's really easy. Like, it's not a lot of people work there. We're manufacturing. That's cool. Like, you have to understand about me. People call me dumb all the time, and, like, I've called myself dumb my whole life. I've always felt like I was stupid, because I was in special ed classes since second grade, which I think that I was in special ed because, in second grade I went to 3 different schools, and that put me behind big time. As soon as I went to a new school, I'm trying to, like, figure out what they're like. That just totally screwed me up big time, 3 times, and then at that point, like, I have, like, learning disabilities when it comes to dyslexia and stuff like that. Yes, I can read extremely fast. I can gaze stuff extremely fast. However, slowing down, taking in the comprehension is another thing. That's another thing, because I get bored and I see things backwards sometimes. But it's like going through all that, that set me behind, and I've always thought to myself, like, I'm stupid, like, I'm dumb, I'm really stupid. But in actuality, I'm not, and I never have been stupid. I'm actually pretty smart. I just I've always lacked confidence, and that's because it's always been me. I've always had to rely on basically myself emotionally, like just me. Like I can't rely on nobody. Pretty much at an early age. Imagine being 3 and having your parents split up and you move into a whole different place and you don't see your dad no more. So it's just like after until like they figured out their little situation when it comes to custody and child support. But like, yeah, I've had to adapt constantly, and that's what you people are going to have to do. You're going to have to adapt going forward. There's going to be a lot of changes that people are not used to, and it's going to happen quickly. Like people like the thing about the trans people. Okay, like I don't want to go into depth because I don't want to get my channel taken down, and it's not like it's anything bad about these people. It's just the whole I just don't think we have the technology right now. It would be awesome if people could just like transform their body. Another thing too is I think that people should stop wasting their time creating robots. Um, it's probably better to try to, instead of like trying to make like a skeletal version with like robotic parts all in the inside. What you want to do is make the robots more organic, like us, more like biology, like our biology. So like you'll want like, for instance, you don't want the synthetic type of skin. You want like real human skin. So like you're gonna want these robots to maintain the skin, at least the skin life form, which I don't know how it will do, but like it can sweat, it can grow hair, but like you design it. Um, but yeah, like the skin is gonna have to be it's an organ, so like they're gonna have to figure out how to maintain skin without it dying and like its own ecosystem outside whatever they have to use in the meantime when it comes to like structural movementation stuff like that. um, but like, yeah, I think they're gonna have to use like the robots are gonna have to be the ones that are around us need to be more human like. So like you're gonna have to touch the touch. It'll feel more real, feel more human like. Um, so like if I have one of these robots, they're doing the chores around my house for me, but like I get touch. I get touch too. That's a big thing that I know that I lacked is like touch, human touch. Um, and it makes you angry. It makes you angry. So like, yeah, like when it comes to these robots, like they need to try to figure out how to use human skin and make it stay without it dying. Make it whatever they gotta do. Might have to use like a human body and just use AI. Like we actually just like we manufacture it. Like, okay, I want this robot to have this, and then it doesn't have all the bad things that, like, I would have mine be a woman. So like I don't want it to obviously ovulate and anything like other human like that. Like it could sit there and eat with me, but like it doesn't need the food how we have it. It doesn't have the digestive system like how, because our digestive system, I think that like they're going to be able to maintain the human body with less organs, possibly like getting rid of the whole digestive system. And like pretty much all the organs it takes to maintain this thing, like it takes a lot to maintain it. And if you can like keep the outer appearance and like your brain stem, and then you can just like go to another body, like it's just like it's kind of like someone who's an amputee and they get like artificial limb. It's kind of like that. Like, okay, this body is kind of messed up. I want a better body. I want a taller one. I want to be chiseled. And then you can just take my DNA, and then you can manufacture it and switch me into that body. That would be crazy. Like that could be the life extension technology right there. Just switching your body out with new fresh organs. Like everything is like you're 18. Your body is like you're 18 again, and it's completely healthy, and you still have your consciousness. Now spirit and stuff like that, man, I don't know about that. I don't. Trying to switch bodies, would you keep your spirit? Because I've heard of people who like get other people's organs in them, they start developing some of their tastes. Like I heard somebody like to all of a sudden they like to ride motorcycles, or there's certain foods they like to eat now that they get cravings for they didn't have before, because it could be possibly the other person's cravings. It's because of their DNA. So like, just manufacture or organ. We need to get so good with technology. We just manufacture an organ with my, just grow it. Just grow me a new organ of my own DNA, and then you're not replacing it with anybody else. You're just replacing it with my own DNA. That will be huge. There won't be no more lines waiting for people like transplant or just growing another human body, and like taking this away, just like I don't know kind of weird stuff I'm thinking about, and that's what makes me different from everybody else. And I definitely think I might have a voice in the future. Who knows? Maybe not in my lifetime, maybe never, and that's fine. But there's something telling me that I should be documenting stuff, and that's why I'm gonna go with the journals. This was kind of like it, like documenting stuff, but like I'm not gonna have the energy working 2 jobs. Now, I'm not doing this yet. I'm gonna wait till the election's over, because after the election is over, I'm gonna need to figure out where I'm moving. Am I gonna stay here in Michigan? Because I'm definitely moving anyway. So I need to figure out where I'm gonna go, and then after that, I can get another job and like try to figure it out. Hopefully Trump wins, and hopefully we can bring back like common sense type of stuff. But yeah, that's about it.